Hey Ness, how was ELEAD today? I know you were so excited for class.
ELEAD was so fun today. I'm going to be so sad once it's over for the semester.
Yeah, I can imagine. That class does sound pretty interesting. What have you all learned from ELEAD this semester?
Well, I'll tell you. I've learned a lot about leadership throughout the course of ELEAD 1. To be the best leader I can be, I need to start by leading myself, or leading oneself, as this course is called. Hey, thanks for the swipe into the building. Insight number 1. The first insight that I took away was that I want to be the type of leader that creates light-producing relationships. This was stated in Palmer's article published in the year 2000. Gosh, it's so dark. See what I did there? Anyways, to answer the question, why does this matter? I would say that I want to create an environment where I praise and encourage others and myself. I do not want to let fear and self-doubt, such as shadow casting mentalities, get in the way of leading. I've come to understand this insight when I experienced firsthand in ELEAD how we are taught to focus on our strengths and what good qualities we already embody as a leader. Initially, I figured that focusing on my weaknesses, such as poor organization or getting overwhelmed easily, is what I should focus on. However, because of reading Palmer's article, From Leading From Within, I've come to realize that my path of creating light-producing relationships, especially light-producing relationships with my own thoughts, has been negatively inhibited because I've been allowing shadow-casting monsters to affect the perception of my self-worth. One resource that I have used to help support this view was a TED Talk called How to Eliminate Self-Doubt Forever. One quote from this TED Talk mentioned was, "People never rise above their opinions of themselves. You need to have a light-producing relationship to change your own opinion on who you are as a person. I have now realized through ELEAD that to be the best leader I can be, I need to prevent shadow casting and increase light-creating tendencies." The ways in which I want to go about producing light is by not going on my phone when I'm in conversation with others. I can better listen to what they're saying, and I also want to say a daily affirmation in the mirror every morning for the next week, so that way I can stop self-doubt and fear.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever.
I know.
I have so much to catch you up on.
Okay, tell me.
So I recently just got into ELEAD and I've heard such good things about it.
Wait, you got into ELEAD? I should get off my phone so I can intentionally listen to what you're saying. Today, I choose to produce light and not self-doubt. For the future of myself and the teams I will be working on, I will do 2 things to work on fostering light and diminishing shadows. The first thing I will do to foster light is think of 3 things every morning that I'm grateful for. And the thing that I will do to diminish shadows is do 1 small thing every day for the next week that scares me, that way I can destigmatize fear. So something that I'm doing today that makes me a little nervous is sending off the super important email to a professor. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ha! Insight number 2. Hi, welcome to the research lab. The second insight that I gained about leading myself that I took away from this course is that my social identity and background, specifically my identity as a woman in STEM, affects how I perceive leadership roles. The reason why this matters is because people's identity play a pivotal role in uncovering what people value and how they situate themselves within various environments. To be an effective leader, you must try to understand others' identities. I came to understand this idea this semester when I was only one of 3 girls in my Calculus 2 discussion lecture, and I realized just how important female representation in STEM is. This is my calculator. I also read The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The book The 4 Agreements is a book that teaches you how to live your best life with 4 simple mantras. And in the agreements discussed, one of them was don't make assumptions. I believe that this is applicable to this ELEAD insight because someone should not make assumptions about my leadership style just because I identify as a woman in STEM, or my leadership capabilities just because I am a woman in STEM. Initially, I was really saddened by finding out how small of a female representation in Calc there was. I did not think that my leadership style within STEM would be judged based on my gender, which was a naive thought. If I did the work and I was qualified, why did my gender matter? I believe I held this naive assumption before, because thankfully I've yet to experience discrimination due to my gender in my own personal life. Having the ELE discussion that we did in lecture changed my perspective on this matter. As a result of hearing Dean Rapella share with our class how people treated her differently after pregnancy, I realized that women in STEM are treated differently and that this is a problem that is not going to go away unless we all do something to combat it. From reading Navigating Identity as a part of your leadership practice, I have also realized that being a female in STEM is to my advantage because we should acknowledge differences and build bridges between all different types of people. Follow me. Moving forward, I will take this knowledge that I have learned and ask everyone within my team how they socially identify and what I can do as a leader to make sure that I'm making this environment comfortable for everyone. Here's an example of this. Hi, great to meet you. I'm so excited that you can work with me this summer.
Yeah, I'm really excited to work with you this summer.
So, before we get into the logistics of this internship, tell me a bit about your social identity and backgrounds.
Alright, so I'm a first-generation college student and I'm majoring in biochemistry and mathematics.
Perfect. What can I do to make this environment healthy for you?
I'm also an Asian American and I grew up in China, so I would love to have Chinese New Year off.
No problem at all. Lovely meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Insight number 3. The third insight that I gained about myself as a leader is that to become my ideal self, I need to focus on a learning mindset and not a performance-based mindset. These ideas originated from Goleman in 2013. The reason why this insight matters is because I want to better myself as a person, and the main way is by having my change be intentional, as seen in Boyatz's 2016 article, and changing my mindset. I have come to understand this self-awareness as seen in Combs' Exploring Leadership and genuinely taking the e-lead feedback of a learning mindset as opposed to a performative mindset. Initially, I didn't see how a performative-based mindset was bad because it got me good grades. However, after talking with Ben in his office hours, I realized that a learning-oriented mindset is what will truly help me grow. Moving forward, for my own purpose and as a member of teams, I can have others, such as my roommate, hold me accountable when it comes to thinking about academia in a learning-oriented light. Here's an example of that.
How's your test?
Honestly, I got an 81 and I'm really upset about it.
Well, we've talked about this before, and there's two different ways you can look at this. So we want a learning-based mindset and not a performative, because thinking performatively might only help you, and we have to understand that if you're learning, it will benefit you, and not everything's gonna go right, and not everything's gonna go the way you planned all the time.
That's so true, and I've honestly never learned this material this well up until this exam, so you're right. Thanks for holding me accountable. In conclusion, my 3 biggest insights were that I want to focus on life-producing relationships, social identity affects leadership, and to be a good leader, I must focus on a learning-oriented thought process. My 4+ connections to e-lead concepts were concepts from Palmer's Leading from Within, such as shadow casting, concepts from Navigating Identity as a part of your leadership practice, and acknowledging differences within others, concepts from Goleman's book, Primal Leadership, Combs' Exploring Leadership, and Boyatz's Unleashing the Power of Intentional Change. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'm excited for e-lead 2 next year. Enjoy your summer.